what I wanted. Go on. 13.
13, Ben. 21. Adam, 24. Cheers, mate. Nick. 30. That's right, Ben. That's alright. Mate, yeah. 2 stars here, mate. Yeah, got Dave here. Sorry? Dave. Yeah. 30. Zach, 34. Charlie. So I'm putting it down here. Nobby's brother. Yeah, Nobby. Cheers. Cheers, mate. Sorry. James. Here we go, peg 11. 26. What about? 26, Tony. 26. Six. Put in there, Boris. Here we go. Here we go. That ain't it. No. 23. Bang on. 23. Peg, yeah. Yes. Yeah, that'll do.
Pull me under, take me higher. Pull me under, take me higher.
Every time I have been here, I've seen over there. He's had 3-4 fish over on the egg.
Super Pairs match here at Rookery Waters. It's been a bit of a slow start. There's been a few F1s caught. Just watching Dale Smith there. Peg 34 on Magpie. Slowly things are starting to happen. Pimp writing. 25 magpie. Starting to get the odd fish now. Paul Smith there on peg 16 magpie. Let's just put a run of 2 or 3 fish together. Paul's partnered with Chris Parsons, who's on peg 18 Raven. No, Chris has had a couple of fish. Paul Rogers there on peg 32. Fishing out long, I think he's pinging maggots. 13 plus metres. There's another fish for Paul Smith on peg 16. Lots of F1s coming out at the minute. I haven't seen many carp. Adam Playford and peg 24 magpie. He's starting to catch steady now. Some small carp fishing tight against the reeds on his left margin. Adam's partnered with Tony Evans. Tony's on peg 23 on Raven, so we'll catch up with Tony shortly. Just a quick chat with Tony, and he's admitting to just 4 fish, so very slow start down this hedge on Raven. And that was perfect timing. Set behind Bruno Norman on peg 11 Raven. He's admitting to 17 fish, 9 F1s and some carp. Just hooked into another. Partnered with Zach Warby, who's on peg 8 on magpie. Peg 11 on Raven here. Always has a good reputation for itself. And Bruno, regular angler here at Rookery. He was the winner of the Rookery Waters 2-day winter final last year. Reported that he's had 15 match wins here at Rookery this year. That's another one for him. Ross Harold netting there on peg 8, 16 on Raven. Partnered with Dave Harold, who's on peg 2 magpie. He's been in 2 fish show finals, the Golden Reel final, Maver match this final. He's won an Angling Trust Silverfish competition. And he has won a couple of the 2-day festivals here at Rookery Waters also. Catching well now on peg 16. Things starting to develop. Looks like Bruno Norman on 11 and Ross Harold on peg 16. He's got to be pleased with how things are starting to pan out here. Just sat behind Charlie Styles on peg 21 Raven. Charlie's paired with Dara Smith, I believe, who's on peg 34 on Magpie. And Charlie's saying he's getting amongst some Carp and F1s, so he's catching. And Tom Edwards here on peg 23 Raven. Tom's paired with Penwrighton, who's peg 5 on Magpie. Tom's just said he's had 16 Carp and a handful of F1s. Carp up to £3. So sounds like he's in the mix with Ross Harold and Bruno Norman, who are also catching off peg 11 and peg 18. No, peg 16, sorry. Tom no stranger to Rookery Waters. His list of achievements this year. Very impressive. 5th in the Decoy Festival in July, 4th in the Windfest Festival at Westwood Lakes in March, 3rd in the Daiwa Spring Classic Festival at Westwood Lakes. He was 2nd in the August Westwood Festival. He was 2nd in the Rookery Waters Spring Festival. He won the Rookery Waters teams of 3 last year. That was the 2nd year on the trot. And he beat Jack Gill and Jimmy Brooks and then Ben Townsend to make the Super Cup final. And then won his section on Skylark in the Super Cup final as well. Previously he's made it to the Golden Rail final 3 times. He's made it to the Park Dean final 4 times. And he's been in the Maver match this final as well. And no stranger to big events. I'll catch up with Pem on Magpie 5 shortly. Let's see how this pair are getting on. Tony Evans now into a fish. Things are starting to happen now, as you'd expect. Only sat here on peg 26. Taking his time with this one. Make sure he gets it in the net. It's a half decent fish for Tony. With James Lee Hardy now on peg 28. End peg on Raven. Just sounds like he's starting to catch. James made the final of the Super Cup last year. One of his proudest achievements. James is partnered with Lewis Brown, who's on peg 19 on Magpie. So we'll head round there shortly and see how they're getting on. They can certainly fight here. At 14 to 16 slick. And that's one in the net for James. Nice carp. Adam Playford enjoying another run of fish here back on Magpie, peg 24. Last time we left him he was fishing down to the reeds to the left hand side, but he seems to have gone out long now. Looks like he's fishing on the bottom. Adam's fishing with Tony Evans. We know Tony's struggling, but looks like Adam might be keeping things together this side of the match anyway. Alan Gallagher on peg 21 there. Another fish for him. He's been creeping them in slowly. I'm not sure how James Fuller's doing on peg 2, who he's partnered with on Raven. That's just as Alan slips one back. Adam Playford's into another one. Small fish. I still catch him. And Jack Demant, peg 36, into another fish. Jack, the current J Lake record holder, with £440 I believe in the 3-day festival in the summer. We've come to the far end of Magpie now. And we've got Zach Warby on peg 8. We know Bruno's doing well on peg 11, Raven, who Zach's partnered with. I'm not actually sure what Zach's had. He really does really well here at Rookery. Only 21 years old, sponsored by Cresta. But he's made it into the match this year, the Golden Reel final this year. He's twice been a junior and national winner, and he's been in the Junior Fishermania 3 times as well. And Dale Smith and peg 34 there, just putting one in the net. Dale's partnered with Charlie Stiles, who's, when we left Raven, I think was admitting to 17 carp, so again he's in the mix. The winner of the pairs competition will be decided on combined section score. 2 sections of 12. And it will be the angler's position. 12 on Magpie, 12 on Raven. Added together to decide who wins. And if we obviously have a shared score, then we will look at weight to determine who our winning pair is. And Paul Rogers there on peg 32, just hooking into a fish. Paul's partnered with Malcolm Hicks. Malcolm's on peg 14 on Raven. Again, not familiar with how Malcolm's doing at the minute. But a great peg over there on peg 32. Some huge weights off that peg. And that's one in the net. Paul Rogers. Got a stamped fish now starting to appear. As we're now nearing the halfway point. That one's gone in the keep net there, and just to his left I think Dale Smith's back into another fish. I can see to my left also, whilst Dale slips that one in the net. We've got Ben Townsend. Where's he? He's also just put a fish in the net. Ben there on peg 13. Sponsored angler there. Matrix sponsored, Spotted Fin sponsored. Partnered with Martin Freeman. Martin's struggling a bit on Raven. But Ben's had some right results this year. Winning the 3-day Floatfish Farm Festival in the summer. And then winning the 2-day Floatfish Farm Festival that him and Liz put on. Ben also won round 3 of the UK champs here at Rookery Waters on peg 34, fishing shallow, 325 pound or something that day. And Ben used to be part of the England international team. In the Super Cup. And beat Chris Barley to make it to the regional final, and then he lost to Tom Edwards, which was a great head-to-head that we managed to watch here at Rookery. Looks like he's catching steady now. A lot of F1s up that end sometimes before the bigger fish appear. There's Nick Coote there on peg 30. Nick's partnered with Stephen Baker. Spoke to Stephen on Raven, I think he's on peg 9. And he was struggling. Let's see how he's getting on and try and keep you updated with him. Just a look across to the left. And Paul Rogers is back in with a small carp. That one's going in the net. And across the lake. Peg 16. Paul Smith's into a fish. As the afternoon goes on, the fishing should get better and better. Whilst we watch Paul get that one in the net. Just looking to my left, and It's like Warby's just hooked into a fish, and, as well as Ben Townsend. One in the net for Ben. We should just pan round quick. There's a good fish. I doubt he'll finish strong. I think he was second in the Open last week. 270 plus pounds. He knows exactly what he's doing. So we just stopped at the bottom end of a Magpie again before we head round to Raven. Looks like Adam Playford's still catching. I can see Alan Gallagher catching. Jack DeMant's just put a fish in the net. One angler we haven't been able to see much off is Lewis Brown, but it's peg 19 is not easy for us to get to without upsetting people. So apologies to Lewis. And we'll find out how he's done at the end when he weighs in. Another nice fish for Adam there in the net. And Dave Harold there on peg 2 Magpie, partnered with Ross Harold, who's doing really well on Raven. We haven't seen Dave had too much. He's now starting to put the odd fish away. Another fish in the net for Alan Gallagher there. We'll pop round to Raven shortly and see how his partner's doing on peg 2. Jack DeMont, another fish on peg 36. It's got to that stage now where people are catching. We're slowly losing track of what's going on. I couldn't call it on Magpie at the minute. Wouldn't know who was winning. On Raven, however, I think it's going to be a close call between Bruno and Ross Harold at the minute, closely followed by Tom Edwards. But we will see. So as we just left, Alan Gallagher putting a fish in the net on peg 21 on Magpie. This is his pairs partner James Fuller on peg 2 Raven. We'll have a chat with James as we pass him. I'm not sure how he's doing at the minute. That is the thing with this competition, you need both anglers to be catching steady. No point just one of them catching. I think I can see Bruno on peg 11 putting another fish in the net. We'll catch up with him shortly. Stuart Evans on peg 4, Martin Freeman on peg 6 and Stephen Baker on peg 9. I think it's been a bit quiet down that stretch on Raven. But again, we'll have a little look shortly and update everyone. Tony Evans just putting one in the net. We'll catch up with him shortly and see how he's doing.
Bagging.
We've just spoken to James Fuller, Stuart Evans and Martin Freeman on peg 2, 4 and 6 Raven. James Fuller is not admitting to any numbers or any weight, he just thinks he's struggling. He's partnered with Alan Gallagher, who's catching steady on peg 21 on Magpie. I don't think he's a front runner as such, but don't need to be in this pairs match where it's the combined score that decides the winner. And Stuart Evans, I think he said he'd had 10 fish, 10 carp. Jack Demant's on peg 36 on Magpie. So Stuart and Jack, again, Jack's catching okay. 10 carp for Stuart Evans. Martin Freeman is struggling. I think it's his last on the lake. And he's paired up with Ben Townsend, who's on peg 13 on Magpie. And we see Ben catching F1s up there. I haven't seen him catch any carp, but you can see him mess quite a big weight up on that peg with F1s. Depends how these carp feed at the latter part, in the latter stages. And Martin's no stranger to turning things around if need be. So if the opportunity turns up, we know he'll take it. Malcolm Hicks here on peg 14 on Raven. Just putting one in the net. Partnered with Paul Rogers. Paul's on peg 32 on Magpie. You see him catching some fish earlier. A nice carp from Malcolm there.
Who's catching well?
We were just about to leave Malcolm Hicks there, and he's hooked straight into another one. Ah, it's off. Maybe foul hooked. Maybe foul hooked. Not sure. Back behind Ross Harold. He seems to have come short now. I don't know whether his long line just shut up shop or whether he's giving it a rest. But things may be slowing down here now. Just past Chris Parsons in the corner and then Charlie Stars. Things seem to have slowed down for them. Charlie was having a good run up until about the last hour and was just settled in behind Tom Edwards for a little while, and he's still catching steady. He's just pulled out 2 and 2 puttings, not the biggest of fish, but if things are slowing down elsewhere on the lake then he's still catching, then always a danger. He's just admitted to close to £100 at the minute, so still got 2 hours of the match to go. He's just resting his other lines. He's had a couple of fish short and a couple of fish down his edge. As Tom gets into another fish. Another carp in the net for Tom. There's James with another fish in the net, just as we was walking past. Lovely little carp. James fishing with Lewis Brown. Peg 19. It was one we were struggling to see because he's tucked up out the way.
Didn't see the boy. Picked up.
Jack went there with another fish. Enjoying the banter with Adam Playford on peg 24 there. Fish for fish between Adam and Jack. Enjoying a great little battle in the bowl. Sat opposite each other. Another one in that crowd. Another good fish. Adam won the individual winter league last year at Rookery, and he was second in the commercial masters with Team Daiwa Tackle and Baits. He fished in the UK champs this year. In the Super Cup he beat Tom Cole and then narrowly lost to Jack Gill. £147 to Jack's 155. Previously, Adams made it to the Mave match this final in 2016, and he's won 2 Angling Time Super Cups with Dersingham. Just in the corner of the shop there we've got Lewis Brown, who's just put a fish in the net. We're struggling to get to Lewis where he's positioned at the minute without upsetting anybody. So we'll find out how he's done at the end of the match. Looks like Alan Gallagher's into another fish. I think he's just been chipping away, Alan. It's just the odd fish keeps going in the net. But as we said earlier, I think James Fuller, his partner on Raven Peg 2, is struggling. And Jack again keeps chipping away, putting them fish in the net. Just can't turn your back on this man. Every time I turn around he's got a fish in the net. at the top end of Magpie. Dale Smith on peg 44 into a fish there. You can also see Ben Townsend to my left playing a fish, and also Zach Warby to my left as well playing a fish. One in the net for Dale. Bruno doing really well on Raven. And Zach can put a nice little weight together at the end now. That could do them as a pair really well. A nice carp in the net. Charlie was having a good run on Raven 23 till about an hour ago. As we was round there, he's just said that slowed right up. Each time we come to the top end of Magpie, Dale seems to be catching. Could be in for a good day. Looks like Ben Townsend's gone down his left edge. And then opposite on peg 16, Paul Smith's just put a fish in the net also. Paul Smith fishing with Chris Parsons, who's on peg 18. Don't think he's having the best of days, but I think he's been consistent. Him being this year's Super Cup winner. Also qualified for the Fish South final at Willinghurst Fishery earlier in the year. Look forward to seeing what he weighs in. It was just a little over an hour to go. He certainly knows what he's doing. Another good fish in the net. Ben Townsend there on peg 13. Not catching as quick as he was earlier on when we were here. And I know Martin Freeman on Raven, his partner. Oh, there we go. Ben's giving us the thumbs down. It's not going good. Martin Freeman struggling on Raven also. Ben's gone down his edge. And it's not going quite to plan. Another fish for Dale. That also looks like Paul Rogers on 32's just had one also. As he nets his.
hard to catch one or two, didn't we?
36.6.
Good you lads. Hey Tony, we were talking about it this morning.
£40, 8 ounces.
In fairness, this is one of them pegs, isn't it, that if you walk round the lake and nobody had any history on it, nobody had seen it before or anything like that, you'd pick it, wouldn't you? You would every time, just the character of it.
£57.12.
The new section leader anyway.
13.
That's our new section leader, Bruno. Hey?
You're alive or alive?
45.9.
Alive, yeah, alive. And we know Dave was having a few, don't we, Sean? Scowsman even. No, we know Ross's dad was having a few.
48.8.
In a tough area, so we definitely were thinking contenders for the pairs. Yeah, we're overloaded with some of the finest scalesmen on the planet now. Look,
55.2.
That's how, you know what I mean? We've gone from the sublime to the ridiculous. Farmer. Let's not connect that.
149.03, don't think, mate.
So we've got a new section leader, Ross there, with 149.3.
£33.15.
He's got 4 nets, that's why. He's saving that £60 for last, hasn't he? Oh right, no, 36.
36.12. That was only half a net. £56.3.
Alright, mate, I will. Let me have when you play.
£50.2.
Alright, got it.
16.3.
190 odd, haven't we? 194, something like that. I'm guessing. $193.3 for a new lake leader.
Just peg out.
That's going to short these passes, isn't it? No, 39.
7.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, we weren't bottom.
What was that? 38.2.
Martin did bad, did he?
£60. Six.
Nothing down here. That's got all down this side. Nothing's coming in.
£60.8. Yeah, £60.8.
Oh, on, Jack. Wait. 138.4, mate.
Well, there's somebody in with a shout with the pairs, definitely.
You said you'd have any carp?
There's about 5 in there. They're big up when they grow up.
39.8.
He's done alright, he can't run here like he's finished
41.13. 62.
Well, what weight you are?
12.
150.04. Told you that, £80.
bank transfer. Really, where was it?
Was that an MPEG?
What did he have?
34 pounds.
37, 14, 31, 7.
He jumped in.
No, they don't weigh this 50.
49. 13.
It was right that you'd got 120, 130 pound, Jack, but he was just grossly wrong about the fact that he's smashed it anyway.
Near 130, is it? No, near 130.
It's close.
119. So 120.
We're live here back at Rookery Waters for the results of the Fishing Association Super Pairs. Get this done quick, get everybody out on the road. Go to Magpie first. Section 1 on Magpie has been won, £60 there, going to Zach Warby with £138 on, something like that, weren't it, mate? Well done, bud.
Mate,
there you go. Thank you. Section 2, by default I might add, and lots of banter going on during the day between them. Section 2's winning another £60, Jack Deman. That hung around for his cash. Chinese. Cheers, mate. Well done. First place on Magpie, £120, going somebody who hardly caught £100 all day, but has ended up with £160 and £120 in cash. Well done, Adam Playford. Well done, mate. Cheers, bud. Raven, moving on to Raven, section 1. Another £60 with a weight of £130 something is Bruno Norman. Good. Well done, mate. Cheers. Loads of cash. Second, by default, this one on Raven with about £148 if I remember correctly. Picking up £60, Ross Harold. Well done, mate. There you go, bud. Cheers. So first place on Raven with a massive weight of £193 something, was it? Sounds about right. Picking up £120, Tom Edwards. Playing for Pem's Chinky on the way home, I've been informed. There you go, mate, well done. Cheers, bud. So moving on to second place in the Super Pairs. Been a real tight one this is, where both places, first and second, ending up on 5 points. But in second place with a weight of 267.09 in total, 5 points, Adam Playford and Tony Evans, picking up 300 cash. Hey? Yeah, 300 quid. Yeah, nice. Anyway, your winners on the day in Super Pairs, picking up £535 with a total weight of 269.01. Yeah, exactly, so it was well tight, wasn't it? Is Zach and Bruno. Good day. Well done, mate. There you go, bud. Cheers, Steve. Cheers. Sort that all out. Thanks for coming, lads. Been a cracking day. See you next time.